Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here with a video talking all about Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 30. Of course, this is the end of the string of matches. This would be the fourth match of Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker, of course, taking place at WrestleMania 30, which would have been at 2013. An awesome WrestleMania, an awesome show, a real big shock to me. Honestly, I'll always remember that, honestly, I just really didn't care about this match. I really thought that it was just a slam dunk that Undertaker was going to win this match. Looking back over the history of time, I think that I really didn't know that Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker as a rivalry was so lopsided. I knew that, from remembering that Brock had won the Hell in the Cell. I knew that from memory that Brock and Taker had a no decision at the Unforgiven show. But I honestly, at this time didn't know about the No Mercy 2003 match, the Bikers Chain match. That was a match that I don't even know if I'd seen it before I watched it earlier tonight. But honestly, that would have to be the worst match of those. I think WrestleMania 30 would have to come in the number 3 spot. The match, honestly, just... It wasn't that good, and it's not anybody's fault. It just, was a, thing of, I think a lot of people remember Brock versus Taker for the one reason of how big of a shock it was when Brock Lesnar beat Undertaker, and everybody can remember where they were and what they were doing. I was sitting in the Superdome. I was sitting there with Ravi, Miguel, Justin, and Jade, and I probably spent a good deal of this match looking at my phone, just because, like I said, Taker matches at WrestleMania, honestly, are always just a slam dunk. Undertaker goes into the ring, Undertaker wins, and we move on to the next match. But this, I forgot that I even didn't turn the match off. Undertaker's walking out right here. But the build-up to this match was as big as it could be. Brock Lesnar was probably the biggest guy that Undertaker could go up against inside WWE. I mean, Taker had already beaten the likes of Batista, who was in the main event. He'd already beat Triple H, who was wrestling in like the co-main event, even though it was the opener. He'd beat Shawn Michaels. He'd beat Edge, who was in the Hall of Fame. He beat all of the big names that were inside of WWE and almost anybody else. I mean, even when they put CM Punk up against Undertaker, it was sort of like nobody believed that CM Punk was going to be the guy that was going to go out there and beat the streak. Some people could put up the argument saying that basically maybe they were going to do it, and that was going to be the future of the WWE, and that being that CM Punk, the ultimate heel, had beaten Taker and they could move on from there. But Undertaker comes into this match. He's 21-0. Like I said, at WrestleMania 29, he beats CM Punk. Undertaker takes his good long while with the long entrance. 21 coffins set up atop of the entrance ramp, even though 3 of the matches were Triple H, 2 of the matches were Kane's, 2 of the matches were Shawn Michaels. We still got 21 coffins up there. I don't know why guys got buried more than once. It was probably more than likely just for the visual. Match starts with an eerie, long stare down. Both guys just looking at each other, and it seems like it takes it forever. Once the bell rings and the match comes official, Taker comes out of the gates, and Taker comes out of the gates fast. Taker putting the beat down to Brock. Probably within the opening 2 minutes, we see the German suplex from Brock Lesnar as a line of defense. Taker lands right on his head. I believe this is the point of the match when Taker suffers his concussion. He's slow to get up, but honestly, the spot that comes after this is Lesnar comes at him with a clothesline. Taker goes over the top and lands on his feet onto the floor. Honestly, for me, I don't think that if I just suffered a concussion by Brock Lesnar giving me a German suplex right in the middle of the ring at WrestleMania 30 in the Superdome, I don't think I'm getting up. I don't think I'm doing a flip over the top rope and landing on my feet. How he was able to do this, I honestly can say that I have no clue. Paul Bearer, the night before, had gone into the Hall of Fame. Probably a very, very emotional time for Undertaker, Kane, both of them. Paul Bearer had passed away, which was leading into the WrestleMania 29 build with CM Punk dumping the ashes all over. So I'm sure that was in the mind of Undertaker as this match was going on. Taker's in the advantage for a good portion of this match, but Brock is definitely breaking him down with his comebacks, putting the boom to him. Out of the middle of nowhere, it seems like we get a choke slam for a 2 count from the Undertaker. After that, he counters that with the Hell's Gate that Lesnar picks up and counters it by giving a big slam with his fist. Putting Undertaker into the ground. From here, Undertaker locks down a Kimura lock. We have an F5. It looked like it was it. I mean, it just looks like when Brock Lesnar hit that F5, it was over and done with. It was a picture perfect F5 from Lesnar right in the middle of the ring, looking right into the television at home. It just seemed like the way that he held him up and the Undertaker gracefully, flew through the air. That was it. It only got 2. From there, Brock just took it out on Taker. Basically, he just put the beat down on him for kicking out of the match. Basically, he just made it seem like it was his lifelong mission that he was going to cripple Taker because Taker should have just laid down for the F5. Instead, he kicked out of it. And it looked like it was going to be it. But from there, Brock hit another F5. Brock almost lost it. He picked up Taker, got him onto the shoulders, and you can see the knees start to buckle. And, it's almost like Brock is running out around the ring, but he's just trying to catch his footing, so he's able to turn the F5 and throw him. From there, we get the 1, 2, 3. Honestly, this match is probably at least 20 to 25 minutes long. But even when I watch this, I'm sitting here on the WWE Network. I'm sitting at home in this chair. I feel like the match is like 3 minutes long. It just seems like time stops when I watch this match. I can remember, sitting there, WrestleMania 30, and the way the F5, the way that the air felt, the way, when Taker landed, the way that the referee counted, and the way that, the counts sounded on the mats from where I was sitting. 1, 2, 3, clearly, you knew it was the finish, and you didn't want to believe it. You thought that Taker was going to kick out, and then once the 3 count comes, sitting there in the Superdome that day, we didn't have any audio. All we had was just looking to see what was going to happen, and it seemed like forever before Justin Roberts spoke up and said that Brock Lesnar was your winner. And then from there, they flashed up 21-1 up on the screen, and then they started to play the Brock Lesnar music. And honestly, that is the point when I honestly really believed the match was over. Until that point, we heard the Brock Lesnar theme. I didn't know what was going to happen. I thought that maybe they would restart the match. I guess Triple H was the authority at the time, so there was no general manager, unless you count Brad Maddox. I don't know what he was even doing in storyline at this time. I think that Brad Maddox was sort of relieved of his duties, like at SummerSlam the year before. That's the last time I can really remember him thinking he was going to be the special guest referee, and then Triple H gave him the pedigree, thinking that he turned babyface, and then it all turned up that, oh shit, wouldn't that be the next year? Yeah, that would be, wait a minute, no, it would be the year before, because that was yeah, okay, I got a little bit lost there, I apologize, but, I don't know, man, this match isn't good, but it's always going to go down in history. It's probably one of the biggest matches that I ever saw live, just because of what the finish was, with somebody beating the streak, and it all coming to an end for Undertaker versus Brock, and at SummerSlam 2015, Brock Lesnar is looking, Brock Lesnar's looking to get a win and just keep on moving on. But Undertaker's looking for revenge for beating the streak. I know that when they talk about this match, they talk about WrestleMania 31 never really happening. They talk about Taker not being around for the last 16 months. But I'm looking forward to it. And I'm glad that I went down the long list of matches here. Definitely in my mind, I think that the Hell in the Cell match would be the number 1 match. Number 2 would be the Unforgiven match. Number 3 would be WrestleMania 30. And definitely in the last spot would be the No Mercy 2004 match, bringing up the rear. Hopefully SummerSlam 2015 is going to be another one that really picks it up. And maybe you can move into that number 1 spot. We'll see what's going on. Peace out, everybody.